Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Echo League game. This time for the C region. It'll be Division A, and we've got IDK versus 4Merical. It'll be 4Merical that are banning and picking first. And we'll see how it goes here. This is Division A, so it's quite a high tier. I mean, it is the highest tier possible in this league. We see the Lone Druids ban out straight away, followed by an immediate Pit Lord. And then the Ember Spirit and the Nyx. So the Radiant ban's not too surprising for Miracle, going for some pretty standard bans. I don't think I've ever seen Lone Druid not be first banned. It seems like the IDK guys, they don't really like Underlord, nor do they like Nyx. And we'll see what their preferences are. Ogre Magi straight away picked up, followed by the Slider. Two very popular picks. Slider being the most picked in the league so far. By the way, it is Michael Phoenix. If you don't know about me, Twitter details below. Just give me a follow if you want to keep updated. And I have no co-caster because nobody's available at this time of the night. So we'll carry on solo. Disrupt is the second pick for IDK. So they want that glimpse. They want that silence ultimate. And the kinetic field's not bad either. But the one we've got to watch out for is the Slider. It is most banned for a reason. And with that corrosive haze and the AoE stun, once he's got the blink dagger up, I mean things just get crazy for Slider. And the minus defense is just such a big deal. Not to mention the true sight and the vision it gives. That being said though, 4Merical going for a very standard support. It's a very high pick rate on the Ogre Magi. It's very rare, in fact, that you see a game without an Ogre Magi in it. We'll just wait out the second pick. They've gone into the reserve time. And it's the Beastmaster. That's interesting. So it's an offlane beast. Well, it should be anyway. We'll find out. It's not a hero you see too often. Pretty good. It has his ultimate, obviously the raw, offers a lot of stun capability, guaranteed. Goes through BKB as well. Only thing that's going to stop it is a Lincoln's if it's not already broken. Sniper will be the third ban for IDK. And we see the Silencer banned out for the 4Merical. So IDK has some interesting bans. I don't, these are the bans you don't usually see. But it seems like they're just banning heroes that they just really don't like playing against, which is absolutely fair enough. Although that being said, Nyx and Pitlord, they're quite strong heroes. It's just you don't see them banned so early in normal games. We'll just wait out that fourth ban. And it'll be the Dazzle. It's interesting. I'm not too sure why, but it kind of, I guess it kind of can indicate what kind of draft they're going to be going for. If they're going to pick up something up like a Legion Commander or something a bit crazy like that, obviously you don't want to Dazzle in the lane or in the game to kind of ruin that duel. But I'm sure it's not going to be an LC. We'll see what it is. Invoker will be the fourth ban. So they're starting to ban out those mid heroes. And 4Merical, they do not want to pick nor go up against an Invoker. And we'll see if IDK, they're looking to pick a mid hero now. It is a pretty... Oh, no, never mind. It's Vengeful Spirit that's the pickup. I was going to say it's quite popular for the third pick to be the mid, but they'll go for the Venge. We'll have to see. I mean, this should be a position 4 or 5 Venge, but as we all know, Vengeful Spirit, it can turn in... You can just make it a carry, and it is a very successful carry at that. So the Venge pickup is always interesting because you never know what they're gonna bring out with it. And we'll just have to wait and see what they've got in mind. I also find it absolutely hilarious that IDK stands for Intense Diarrhea Kids. I was really not expecting that. But I suppose these kids have some intense diarrhea. Lion is the pickup, the third pick for 4Merical. So Lion probably will be playing that position 4. It's a very strong support. It's strong throughout the whole game. So it never really, like, it does drop off. But I mean, you've got the Hex, you've got the stun. Finger of Death isn't too bad at the later stages of the game. But it's more about, I mean, early to mid, of course, all the skills matter. But at the late game, you really just want line for the Hex and the stun. And I suppose Finger of Death can be used just to finish off any stragglers that are just trying to get out of there. So in 10 star area kids, they've pretty much been left with a mid and a hard carry pick. Unless Venge is going to be that hard carry, but I do doubt it. And we've got a mid Shadow Fiend. And you can already tell IDK, they're going for a very mid-orientated lineup. They want to finish this game early. So far anyway, we still haven't seen what the last pick is. But at this point in time, it does appear to be a mid-orientated kind of lineup. That being said though, 4Merical, they've gone the kind of the same way. They're not that late game orientated yet, but we'll have to wait out the mid and the hard carries to see exactly what they're aiming for. But generally we do find one team will go for a mid-game style lineup and one will go for a late game. So I'm not going to be surprised to see if they go for some late game heroes now. Not to mention IDK, they have a very, very strong lineup for the mid game. And I'm not sure if 4Merical's lineup so far can contest them unless they do very well. But there are a lot of ganking and roaming potentials, especially with the guaranteed Beastmaster stun. The Roar is very good, and I'm not even sure how much it is at level 1. It's 3-second stun at level 1. That's a big stun. Juggernaut will be the 4th pick. Extremely safe hard carry. Pretty much always works, no matter what situation. Tinker will be the 5th ban for Intense Diarrhea kids, so they want to get rid of that potential mid laner. We'll just wait out the last ban for 4Merical, which should be a carry. So with IDK, I mean, Terrorblade, yeah, that's a pretty good ban. I mean, I believe 4Merical, they've sensed that, you know, they're gonna, if they gave them the Terrorblade, this game could be over in, you know, within 20 minutes if they're not too careful. So they've banned up that potential, and I think it definitely was a good ban. It definitely eliminates that chance of that happening. Although it could still happen with other heroes, but we'll have to see what it is. And there's the late game hero, Medusa herself. So we can really tell 4Merical, they're planning to take this. They're planning to take this as long as they really feel like it. And IDK, I really feel like they've got to go for something that is going to finish this game early, because the late game lineup for 4Merical right now is much stronger than what they've got. I could be completely wrong though, because I don't have an analyst with me to prove me wrong. But we'll find out with this last pick what the plan is. And they've got a lot of reserve time left, so they can take their time here. Probably just have a chat, find out what the game plan is. But we will see. We should see a mid SF. We should see Disruptor and Venge. They'll probably stay around top, make sure nothing funny goes on, and they'll eventually start roaming. It looks like it's going to be an offlane Slaughter, and we're just waiting on the hard carry. Meanwhile, for the Radiant side, 4Merical, we've got Beastmaster off lane. It looks like a Medusa mid, but it could be a Jug mid as well. I'm going to assume the Medusa is going to be mid though. Got a Jug bot lane, and Lion and Ogre. Well, Ogre will probably sit in the mid lane for a while, make sure Medusa has an easy time against the SF. But essentially, Lion and Ogre will probably end up roaming anyway. But Lion should sit with Jug for a while, just making sure he's okay with the farm. And the Centaur, so hold on a minute. Is this a Vengeful Spirit carry then? And is this a Slaughter position 4? It looks like it might be. So they've switched it around a bit. I think this Centaur's going to be offlane, and I think the Slider's going to be position 4, Disruptor position 5, and Vengeful position 1. So we'll find out in just a moment once we get into the game. But I'm pretty sure this is a carry Venge, and they've definitely gone for that very early to mid lineup like I was talking about. So we'll quickly go through the heroes. We've got Apple PR. He'll be on the Beastmaster. We'll call him Apple. We've got Azwraith. We'll call him Wraith. Juggernaut. Ariz. He's on the Ogre. We've got CSBTFP on the line. And on the Medusa, we've got Sisir Dahal. Some bad pronunciation on my part. Meanwhile, on the dire end, for the side of IDK, we've got Neo on the Centaur. We've got Tortex on the SF, who's going to be the mid lane. We've got Emily on the Slider, Daikuro on the Vengeful Spirit, and we have Natural Born Kai, or Ki. I'm pretty sure it's Kai, but I could definitely be wrong. And he'll be on the Disruptor. And it does appear that it's going to be a Vengeful carry, so this will be interesting. This will be very interesting. We've seen it work before. They do work very well if done correctly. So we'll wait it out and we'll see. It looks like there's already an aggressive ward being placed by Beastmaster, just to be able to keep vision and make sure nobody can come gank him from these trees here. And there'll be no congestion for the bounty runes. They'll just place their wards, back off, get their own bounty runes, and probably block the creeps. So Emily, the thing is with position 4 Sliders, they tend to have a bit of a tough time unless they can get some really quick kills and maybe some good bounty runes on the way. They tend to have a bit of difficulty getting a quick Blink Dagger, which kind of halts them in the game. But I do see that the Dire will at the very least be trying to finish the game early. So I'm pretty sure Emily will be going around quite a lot, roaming and trying to get kills. Beastmaster should be okay in this offlane though. I can't imagine he'll have too much problems, especially with that Hawk that can scout the vision, and he's already got a ward there anyway. So he has a lot of vision to play with. In the bot lane, Neo, he's not really going to get too much farm. I mean, you've got the Ogre and the Lion available there. And so, I mean, especially if the Ogre sticks around in this bot lane, I don't think Centaur's going to get too much out of it. But then again, he is a tanky hero. He's already got 1 in return. So he is looking to try and sustain himself in the lane and punish those who hit him. And mid lane, I should say, Tortex against Dahal. I mean, it's an SF versus a Medusa. SF should have an easy time once he's got the Necromastery charges going up. But then again, I don't see Medusa having that many issues either. And if she goes for the Mystic Snake max, that's just going to be painful for SF. Because it deals so much damage after all the bounces, and the mana drain just gets really frustrating for any kind of mid laner, let alone an SF, which is quite squishy at the start of the game. And we'll have to keep an eye on it. He's already thrown the razors out, doing a lot of harass. And she's already forced to use herself, so that's some good play from the SF. And Tortex, that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to be really aggressive really early. And there's got to be some quick rotations that come into the mid lane, because they're gonna really struggle to keep up with this Medusa if they don't take care of her a few times. So SF should be calling those rotations sooner or later. I mean, it is slightly early for the time being. We can see Apple. He went to the jungle for a while. He's got the Iron Talon, and he knows he's not going to get much farm at the top lane, and it's just better you abandon that and just go for the farm in the jungle. And Disruptor's going to disrupt that. Excuse the pun. And actually, Apple's quite low, so if Disruptor sees this could mean a dead Beastmaster, and it is. That's a good rotation, a good first blood from Natural Born Key. Very good rotation indeed. He suspected the Beastmaster would be there, considering he wasn't in the lane. And he came for a very, very easy kill and got the first blood. And there's nothing quite as nice as a support getting, especially a position 5, getting a first blood, because it just puts him so far ahead. And look at that, he's already got 850 gold. He'll probably be able to pick a quick Arcane Boots up. And that's going to make sure he doesn't struggle so much in the first 10 to 15 minutes where he's just going to be buying wards and flying couriers and things like that. There's going to be a bit of a rotation. They've smoked up, so Ogre and Lion are here. And they want to go on Tortex on the SF. Lion's going to loop around. And then he's going to be looking for that stun attempt. And Tortex, is he going to sense this? He's being very careful, and I think Centaur's called missing on the map. And he appears to be aware of it, and in fact he's going to go get the bounty rune. So that's a wasted smoke on the end of 4Merical. It's very good game sense from Tortex. I mean, perhaps he was just going for a bounty rune, but he went about 15-20 seconds early, so you could only assume he knew that something was wrong. And it's about that time of the game where they're probably going to try and make it happen on a very squishy SF, so well played by him. See, Dahal, he's already got the Aquila, so he's farming decently well. But that being said, the SF is fairly even. The thing with SF is he's got to be careful because that Mystic Snake, it just deals so much damage and the mana still is just frustrating. So you are going to lose a bit of positioning and maybe a few last hits because you're trying to avoid that Mystic Snake. But he is farming very well. In fact, he's past Medusa now. And he's got 24 Necromastery charges, so he's a very happy SF for the time being. And look at Slider, he's coming from the back line, and there's Disruptor there as well, and they've got the kinetic field there, and I think this might be a dead Medusa. Yeah, definitely will be. And that's a very good rotation. There was no way Medusa was going to get away. She was just way too far up the lane. And a few quick raises, as well as a double damage rune, ensures the kill, regardless of the mana shield. You can see Daikuro on the Venge having a very good time at top lane. He's pretty much got free farm. Nobody's contesting. I mean, Beastmaster's not going to waste his time. Better off he just goes and farms. But this does mean your opponent, the Vengeful Spirit, he's just gonna climb up that farm so freaking fast. And like I said, if Daikuro can just farm for 15-20 minutes, get all the quick items he needs, like the Dragon Lance, maybe even the Deso, then it's going to mean a world of pain for the Radiant. It looks like they're going for another rotation. It's level 2 Glimpse, so he's got a fair bit of range on that. You'll see the Hawk and take that out. But that'll be the end of it. Beastmaster always has very good vision. And so it's going to be hard to catch him out. Oh, but that being said, he's been caught out now. And Apple, there it is. He gets stunned up. And now there should be a glimpse available. Kinetic Field's used, and they haven't quite glimpsed him back yet. And now they will. Now Daikuro, he throws a stun out as well. And I think Beastmaster's dead 100% here. In fact, he will be. And they give the last hit to Daikuro as well. So Apple, I mean, he really had no chance there. The only thing he could have done is probably try to TP out while he was in the trees just there. But he didn't do so. He thought he could get away with just going back to the tower, and unfortunately it did mean his death. He didn't have vision on the river either. Unfortunately, they took out the Hawk. He knew they were around that area, but I don't think he expected them to run up the river that way. And so, 4Merical, I mean, look, they've got the late game lineup, but they are struggling at the moment. And they're letting Venge farm way too much. But there's really not much they can do about it. Their lineup just isn't made to try and take kills that early. And Beastmaster hasn't even hit level 6 yet. So Apple, he's trying his best to hit that level 6 mark. So he can at least try and make a gank rotation. And once he has hit level 6, I'm going to assume that they're going to make a play onto SF. In fact, Apple, he's already pinging it out. He's hit level 6. He's smoked up and he's going straight for the mid lane. Hawk's taken out. Oh, but Emily's there on the Slaughter. And they can't really make this rotation. Tortex is being very careful. Now the smoke is broken as well. And it's pinged out immediately. So beautiful positioning from Emily. Stays on the top of the lane. Almost seems like he was suspecting someone was going to try and smoke in. And he allows that smoke to break. Which was really well played by him. Very good positioning indeed. And Neo, he's not having too bad of a lane himself. I mean, they're trying to harass him. In fact, they might even... No, they won't get a kill. He does... Juggernaut does have the Omni Slash available, but... He doesn't want to make the attempt. And that Centaur, I mean, he probably wouldn't have died from that. But now they might go for another play here. Ariz, he gets a stun off, and I think the Centaur is dead. Or Neo, though, he'll stampede away. Right back to safety, and he'll be more careful this time not to get too far. Meanwhile, Tortex, this man gets so lucky with the double damage runes. Seems like every time I look at Tortex, he's got a double damage available. See, Daikuro, he's got that Helm of the Dominator now. He's got the treads as well, so he's farming very well for himself. The only person beating him in last hits is currently SF. Which isn't such a bad thing, of course, because it is your teammate. And they're going to go straight for the tier 1 tower, and it's not going to last whatsoever. Apple, he comes in with the deny, but he misses it, unfortunately. Lion's there to try and help out, because they did check out the stun. Kinetic Field misses, but they've got the glimpse available. And Lion, they've actually glimpsed a bit too far back, but I still think he'll get taken out. Yeah, he will. The last hit from Emily. It's another good kill. It's 4-0 now in terms of kills. Tortex is fairly low himself, and they're pinging him out, but he'll go to the shrine and he'll be absolutely fine. In fact, he's picked up his Dragonlance now. So that added range. Things are getting a bit out of control. I mean, IDK, they've farmed way too well in the early lane. In the early game, I should say. And this is exactly what they wanted. Dahal, he has to be careful because they're pinging him out. But Emily, he doesn't have that Blink Dagger quite yet. He needs about 1.2k more gold. Neo's fairly close to his Blink Dagger himself. He only needs about 200 gold now. And once he's got that up, he's probably going to start making rotations himself. And you can see the difference between the Venge and the Juggernaut. Where Venge already has treads, the Helm of Dominator. Jug has phase boost, but he's still trying to get the Helm of Dominator. And it's pretty close, but that just shows you the difference in farm. Oh, an Apple. He's coming in. He's got the Roar available. And a pause. Oh, that's not a good time to disconnect. That is a terrible time for a disconnect. But I'm sure Aziz couldn't help it. Obviously, he doesn't want to make the pause happen. Because that gives the other team the notification that their teammate's in trouble. And we'll wait it out to see if he reconnects quickly or not. While we're waiting, we'll quickly bring up the net worth. See where everyone's going with this. Almost 6k on the SF now. So Tortex, he's doing very well. Followed by the VS. And then Jug in third place. But he's fairly behind. If we bring up the net worth graph. Almost 6k at an 11-minute mark. To the way of IDK. And 4k in the way of experience. I think Tortex will go down though, which will give a lot of gold the way back. And yeah, they're gonna change these stuns up, and even though he has an invis rune, they place a sentry straight away, and it took him a fair bit, and now Emily's here. Emily has to be very careful though. He's low HP. And the Mystic Snake will just do a bit of damage. Almost takes him out, in fact. Luckily he doesn't go down. And you can see that was a pretty big gold change. They gave 900 gold to the way of the Radiant. In fact, who did that go to? That actually went to Apple, so a lot of gold going the way of the Radiant. Something that they desperately needed. Obviously, slowing down the SF as well is what you want. See Neo now. He does have the Blink Dagger now, so he will be looking to make those ganks whenever he can. And this will be the point now where the Dire will look to push what they can do in this game. Once the blinks are up, that's when we want to go for that's when they want to go for rotations. And we'll have to keep an eye on Neo because he'll be the man that initiates in the team fights. And as soon as you hear that stampede, you know something's going on. Daikuro, he'll be getting a Dragonlance himself. In fact, he just needs the Ogre Club now. Oh, and they're going after Jug. The stun wasn't out. He starts spinning straight away. And Daikuro, he's going to keep chasing though. He has the swap available as well, and he'll use it. Now the follow-up stun from Neo, and that's an easy kill. Ariz, he's there. Actually, there's a roar from Apple. They came from the back lines, and now Daikuro's in trouble. They even use the Finger of Death. The Stampede, it's not enough. The chain stuns were just too much for Daikuro. Emily's here with Natural Born Kai as well. Kai, he has to be careful here. He uses the ulti and the kinetic field, but it's not going to do too much. And that'll be the end of that, but that's a big kill. For both sides, but Radiant got more out of that. Another Hawk given away of Tortex. And looks like Neo, he'll be getting the Hood of Defiance next. Wants that added magical defense. And obviously the buffs to the item were very good. Just made it that much more effective to get. Emily, he'll be getting fairly close to a Blink Dagger himself soon. Just needs about 300 gold. So he's doing pretty good for a position 4 slider, in terms of farm anyway. It's not easy to farm a Blink Dagger in that position 4 role, but by the timing he's going to make it, which is around the 15-16 minute mark, that's not bad whatsoever. Arisen the line, they're pinging out this Disruptor, and Disruptor, I think he's overextended here. No, he's actually backing off. They went the long way. Ariz, no, they're going to find him. The stun and the ignite comes out. Now the follow-up stun from Ariz. And they're stuck in the kinetic field, and oh, the Stampede's used again. And that's the beauty of the Stampede. It can keep getting you out of these situations. And it's such a short cooldown as well. Only 90 seconds at level 1. And Tortex, he'll solo the tier 1 by himself. Won't get denied. The BTFP, he'll get a stun off, but there's no real follow-up after that. He'll just drain a bit of mana, and cops a raise to the face. Oh, wait a minute. There could be a glimpse here, though. Kai, he's looking for it, but he doesn't have the vision. And they'll let it go. That being said, though, Tortex, he pretty much got a tier 1 for free. And that's not what you want to give away. But that's the power of their draft so far. Medusa can't stop him from pushing a tier 1 if he wants to push a tier 1. They need it. They need the Lion and the Ogre there at least to try and stop him. We'll have to see what Daikuro goes for next as well. I mean, I'm thinking he's probably going to go for a Deso, but things change with Venge carries. And Emily, he actually blinks in, and he gets a stun off, and we're waiting for Venge. Is he got the swap? No, he's not in range, but Neo is there as well. Actually, there's a big rotation coming in now. Apple, he's looking for the roar attempt, and it might be Emily that cops it. No, he runs away, and he'll be just fine. The movement speed's way too much for him. And look at Tortex. He's still pushing the mid lane, and nobody's stopped him quite yet. And now he'll just TP away with no contention whatsoever. So things not looking the greatest, but they're not even looking too bad for 4Merical. What we've got to understand here is it feels as though the I should say IDK on the Dire, they should be pushing they should be pushing for more at this time of the game. And they're not really doing so, but I don't know if they want to wait. They want to keep waiting. You can see 3 TPs straight away, and they're going to go on the bot lane, and Disruptor, he'll be the target, and I don't think he'll get away from this one. In fact, the Finger of Death was committed as well. Poor Emily, just staring in the background, couldn't do a thing to help his mate out. Vortex, what's he picking up? He's picking up a Lincoln Sphere, so he wants to be able to block that Roar. And maybe even the Omni Slash. It appears as though our Beastmaster Apple, he's picked up the Necro. In fact, he's got a Necro 2 now, so Necro 3 will be coming soon. Apple, he wanted to go for that tower, but now he's in trouble. He's going to give away his life for this. And I don't even think he got the tower. Oh, and there's a swap in as well. Ariz, he's in trouble now. I'm not sure what he was doing there. And that's 2 kills given away to the way of IDK. And now they're going to try and get a return kill onto Tortex. And there is a double damage Juggernaut with Omni Slash available, and the Stampede's used, but it's not going to matter. Once that Omni's on you, it's too late. And Neo, he'll go for a stun, and he's going to try and deny this tower, I think. But he's been stunned up by the line now, and they'll get the tower. And there's really no way to kill this Centaur at the moment, but still. So, good turn of events for 4Merical, who pick up a very important kill on the SF again. But he has got the Lincoln Sphere now. So he is still farming very well. Still at the top of the net worth at 10k. And now they're going to push for this tier 2. Neo is there and ready to stun if necessary. However, the Stampede is unavailable. And we can see all the heroes TP to the mid. But there's nobody available. In fact, oh, what a beautiful try from Emily, but just wasn't there in time. And Disruptor, he's got to really keep an eye out, because when that he could have probably glimpsed that had he known that somebody was going to be TPing, but Emily seemed to be aware that there was a possibility. So Disruptor has to be very wary of his surroundings and always be ready to use that glimpse when they are running off, because that could have been a kill. Nevertheless, though, we'll carry on. See Disruptor, looks like he'll be going for a 4-staff, but that'll probably take a while. The man's in position 5, he's got to buy a lot of wards. Daikuro, he's picked up a Hurricane Pike now, so still farming very well for himself. And the Necro 3 now is available on Apple. And that means quite a lot for the team. It means a lot more push, a lot more team fight. And actually, Emily is looking for a stun attempt. He gets Lion. Apple is there in the background. And Medusa, she actually gets silenced up, so she can't hold at the moment. Lion will get taken down. There's a swap onto the Beastmaster as well. And they're just holding this Medusa in place. The Hull, he can't do anything. And he's ran out of mana as well. And that's 3 kills the way they did that was perfectly executed. The Disruptor ultimate was absolutely beautiful. The way they silenced that Medusa so she can't actually use that ultimate. And they pretty much just take her out. And by the time that she could use it, she was out of mana. What a beautiful stun from Neo and Emily. And they find a kill onto the Ogre as well. And they could push for Araxia, I think. In fact, they will. Because they can at least try and force a buyback, and there's only one available. And this is at least a tier 3. But it'll be interesting to see whether they're going to go for the Rax or not. Because Neo and Emily are still there. And they do blink out. And it looks like they won't go for more. Although that being said, Daikuro, he has the swap available if he wants to try for one. But he will just TP away. They're going to be very happy with that tier 3. No need to rush the racks. And the rating, they're trying to find some stragglers, but all of them are out of there. Almost found Disruptor, but he TP'd out just in time. And they'll go back to farming now. So Tortex, we should mention, he does have a Blink Dagger now as well. So he's going to be able to position himself a lot better now in these team fights. It is interesting though, because most Shadow Fiends these days, they just go for the Shadow Blade into Silver's Edge. But this one decides he wants the Blink Dagger instead. That being said, the Shadow Blade would be kind of useless in a sense. Because you have the Beastmaster, who has so much vision with the Hawk. And who's just a natural gem carrier. And has a Necro 3. You probably don't want that Silver's Edge, because you're just going to be seen straight away. Now this is another thing that's very powerful about the Dyer's draft. Is that they can take Roshan so quickly because of the Corrosive Haze from Emily on the Slardar. Now that they've got that Aegis, they might even push for that Rax in mid. And I think they will do so. All the skills are up and ready to go. Requiem, Stampede, everything's ready. They've even got the swap and the Disruptor Ultimate, that Static Storm, it's available again. And if they get one team fight here, if they do manage to claim that Rax and win a team fight, I think they might be able to go for those tier 2s as well. And we're going to look out for either some stuns or a swap from Jaikoro. Oh, and the Shrine looks like it was accidentally used in the mid lane. And somebody's picking it out. They're not very happy about it. Luckily for them, it appears that IDK, they've decided they'd rather take the Shrine for the time being. It can be a bit hard to go on the uphill at this time of the game because you're waiting for somebody on the other team to make a mistake. When they don't make a mistake though, then you're forced to initiate, which is a lot of pressure. And it may force you to make that mistake. But they are going to push the tier 2 a bot. And I can't imagine they're going to have any contention here. This will be another very fast tower. And yeah, look at that. They're going to have absolutely no trouble with that whatsoever. Are they going to keep going though? They do have the Aegis available. The Hawk gone again. Really feeding these Hawks at the moment. And they are going to go for the tier 3. And we'll have to wait. It looks like Jug is top. He does have a TP available. And they're starting to push this Rax. It'll be the range first. And it's definitely going down. The ball's in the background just slowing the Centaur up so he can't blink in for that initiation. Emily misses the stun. And the Hull, he's using the split shot arrows to try and back them off a bit. That ball was really frustrating for Neo because he couldn't use the blink because it kept being cancelled. Now he tries to blink. Doesn't get in the right position. That being said, Tortex, he's hitting up with that melee Rax. And now the silence from Disruptor. That's a massive silence on the Stampede. Now the Requiem. And I think they're in a lot of trouble here. That's 3 down. And Apple, he's going to be the next target. And he'll get taken down as well. Jug buys back. A swap in. Now look at that. Lion gets taken out as well. This looks so bad for the Radiant right now. And 3 buybacks come out. And the Aegis is still available on Tortex. And they're going to be very happy and just back out of there. This is the power of the draft, ladies and gentlemen. It's very hard to contest this draft. Not sure what that stun was, Emily, but I figure you lagged a bit. Looks like Daikuro, he'll be going straight for the butterfly. So he's going for those big items. Just wants to get that lead even further. And of course he won't attack that Alpha Wolf, he'll dominate it. That 30% extra attack, you cannot complain with that. It's one of the best streaks, one of the best creeps to dominate, if not the best. For any kind of carry that's just going to be right clicking most of the time. See Neo, he's gone for that Aghanim Scepter. to be able to run up and down terrain, as well as take 60% less damage. That is a very, very valuable Aghanim Scepter to have. And we do see that quite a lot after they get the boots and the blink dagger. Some of them go for the Hood of Defiance, others choose to go straight for Aghanims. But either way, eventually you're going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter, no matter what. Oh, and there's a swap in, and Azwraith, he's in a bit of trouble here. He is spinning, so they can't stun him, but now Neo, he'll find the stun. And he's got no buyback available. He uses buyback in the last team fight to try and defend that Rax. And I think this is going to end up being another Rax here. Ogre, he gets stunned up as well, and he has no buyback either. And yeah, this is... I don't know how they're going to defend this. Medusa's going to have to pull something out of the bag. Aegis is reclaimed, so this gives them a bit of a chance here. And she will have to go and commit that ultimate. Emily finds a stun though, and they're going to commit that Disruptor ultimate and then silences them. And she actually runs out though. No, she'll get killed anyway. And Lion, 2 right clicks from Tortex takes her out. And that's GG well played. They've called it 28 minutes in. And that'll be it. Game 1 goes to IDK. GG well played to them indeed. We should have our next game up in about 5 minutes or so, I'm assuming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to restart the stream. If you guys want to just tune into the second game, it will be up in about 5 minutes, and the stream will start once it's up. So, guys, it's been Michael Phoenix. That's game 1. I'll be right back with you. Thank you very much.